Thank you so much for speaking to me, Daniel.
Wait,
Pleasure. I'm
hold on. Sorry,
excited.
one
Oh,
second.
okay.
No worries.
I love the movie, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for saying that in the beginning, because sometimes you do interviews for like 20 minutes and you go like, did they hate the movie? Did they like the movie? What? So thank you for saying that.
No worries. And now we're recording again,
Okay.
and you guys are on. You have 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so you are no stranger to the horror genre. So I want to know, what is it about this genre that continues to fuel you? And when you got Prey, how do you feel that elevated the horror genre?
Wow, that's a big, did it elevate the horror genre? That's a big mission. What is interesting about horror movies to a filmmaker, I think, it's that it's a very cinematic genre. It's all about the visuals, creating the mood, the sound design of it all, the production design of it all those things that originally drew you to the movies, you can really exercise. And then I feel like the real gift that you're trying to give the audience is very special with a horror movie, because it's not the movie itself, it's the moment after the movie. You're trying to basically assault the reptile brain of your audience with these scares that your psyche reacts to as if they were real scares. I think the reptile brain can't really tell the difference. And we have been top of the food chain for so long that that's a muscle that's not being exercised anymore. That's not being assessed anymore, thank God, in real life, you know? But that also means that we never get that, oh my God, I'm still alive, I survived, you know, that breath of, I feel reborn because I just went through death itself, kind of a thing. And the closest that we can get to that, I think, is a horror movie. That is basically what we're getting. So we're not supposed to enjoy the hour and a half of the horror movie. We're supposed to enjoy that we've survived the horror movie and we come out the other end. So that's really special to me.
I like that very much. And we survived as audience who got to see it first. So, yeah.
There's that. Yeah.
Now the movie has a lot to say about abuse, and without getting into any spoilers, it's specifically about child abuse, you could say. Can you talk about the psychology behind Anne and that need for defending a mother's actions?
That's amazing that you're picking up on that, because that was what drew me to the script when I read. So there's a scene in there where she is talking to a psychiatrist and is talking about what her mother has done to her. And the psychiatrist is saying, you were abused. And she said, no, my mother was possessed. And the way she defended her abusive mother and the way she would rather face demons and the devil and battle them than give up on her mother's love, that she has to hold on to that so strongly, was so showing me her vulnerability so much that I just loved that character. I was like, no matter what she does from now on, I just feel so protective of her and I love her. And that moment in the original script was in minute 80. So it took 80 minutes before we got there. And then in editing, we saw that moment and we said, that is where the character gets the audience on board. We have to start the movie with that. If we have to restructure everything else, it's worth it, because that is when we grab the audience. And then we made that the very first moment in the film and kind of go in with that. Yeah, to me, that was so strong and so relatable. And that she, in the end, without giving anything away, happens to be right, you know, is also kind of such a fulfilling act of love, which you don't usually see in exorcism movies that much.
Right, that is very true. Also, there is a link between the spirituality, and science. Can you talk about that layer as well?
Our screenwriter is a practicing Catholic. And when I read the script, I could kind of feel that the script wasn't dismissing the church as purely archaic as much as many other scripts do. Yes, of course, they have their source in the Middle Ages, millennia, blah, 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 but they're also not stupid. They are using technology, they are using medicine, they're using science, they're using psychiatrists, and that's all true and real. They go through every application for an exorcism. The victim is being put through a very vigorous mental evaluation, and only once secular psychiatrists have absolutely ruled out that the symptoms are rooted in anything psychological at all, only then they will greenlight the exorcism. So that was always a very strong backdrop, those two components of it all.
There's also I love the look and feel of the movie. Can you talk about? It seems like it's its own character, the locations. So, can you talk about the elements of bringing that forward?
I had imagined the movie as something completely different look, much more Vatican, the classical stuff that you would imagine. And then we ended up shooting in Bulgaria, and I'm talking to the location department, and they're saying, you realize that we are an Orthodox country. We don't have the Catholic architecture that you are looking for. Yeah. So then, and they were right, we were location scouting, there was nothing there. But then we found Sofia. Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria, Sofia University, which is this old building, and because of socialism, it hadn't been worked on. It hadn't been renovated like an American university would have been. And no matter where you pointed the camera, you just felt this lived in, this real stuff that to try to create that in production design would have been crazy, you know, but to just have that as a gift allowed us not only to use that, but then to really put all our budget, all our money, all our time into the third act, where the setting is completely built out of styrofoam. Like everything you see, every statue you see, everything is by our genius production designer and the great Bulgarian team. They just created out of nowhere. So that gave us a good kind of balance between the two. Thank you so much for mentioning that. That's great.
Thank you so much for speaking with me. I love the film, and thank you for bringing something unique.
Thank you so much, Dana. Means a lot. Thank you.